How Wolves can break into the top 6 next season. Before the video starts, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the content coming over the summer, and give this video a like if you enjoy it. I've also put a quiz question in the comment section below, so go down there and see if you can get the answer right. Keep watching to the end to hear my verdict on where Wolves will actually finish next season. After a 7th place finish and getting to the FA Cup semi-final, it's fair to say that Wolves had a pretty successful season last term. Though with the ambitions at the club, they will no doubt want to close the gap to the top 6 and eventually break into that dominant block. So what would Wolves need to do to finish in the top 6 next season? Well, last season, despite beating the top 6 on 4 occasions and comfortably being the best of the rest, Wolves struggled against the lower table sides who sat deep in a structured system. This was because in Nuno's 5-3-2, Wolves' main attacking pattern was direct balls up to Jimenez to bring Jota and the midfield into play, or long passes in behind the back line for the likes of Jota and Jimenez to run onto. Jota's dribbling ability was used in the transition play against the big sides, as Wolves would be able to sit deep and counter quickly and exploit the space left in the midfield and in the full-back areas. Against sides like Crystal Palace and Huddersfield though, Wolves didn't have the same creative ability to create chances when there was limited space with 10 men behind the ball. Wolves will need to do this not only with a change of personnel, but with a change of system and offensive approach, which is why Nuno will need to bring in players this summer so he can switch up the style throughout different games. So what areas should Wolves be looking to improve? Well, the right side of the back three is the weakest, with Ryan Bennett a decent defender in a back 5, but nowhere near the level of Bolly on the other side in terms of his aerial ability or defending in one-on-one duels. A versatile right centre-back who is a quick front-footed defender should be the type of player Wolves look to bring in. They could also do with a ball-winning central midfielder as well to provide depth alongside Dendoncker. A more offensive left wing-back than Johnny would also be a good move, as well as an advanced playmaker who could also play in the forward line. As the centre-back option, Wolves should look to bring in Nordi Mukiele, RB Leipzig's 21-year-old French centre-back. Mukiele is a very aggressive front-footed defender who can step out of the back line to put in a tackle or make an interception. Ryan Bennett is a more conservative defender who sits back in the back line because unlike Mukiele, he doesn't have the same pace or sliding tackling ability to be able to recover his position. Mukiele made 2 tackles per game last season and was only dribbled past 0.2 times per game, which shows his one-on-one defending ability. He's only 21, so has a great age profile to improve into a top-class defender and brings attributes to Wolves' system that Ryan Bennett doesn't have, which includes his versatility to also play at right back if needed. In central midfield, Wolves should go all out to San Bologna's Erick Pulgar. Pulgar is a 25-year-old Chilean who is predominantly a ball-winning central midfielder, but has excellent on-the-ball attributes. He has aggression in the tackle and has great reading of the game, allowing him to make interceptions when the opposition looks to play incisive passes into the midfielders in the half spaces. Last season in Serie A, Pulgar made the 6th most interceptions from a central midfielder with 1.8 per game, and made 2.4 tackles per game, which underlines his ability to break up the play. This would improve Wolves' midfield, as Dendoncker is the only player in that midfield who is a very good tackler and interceptor, with Neves and Moutinho being more creative players. Pulgar is more creative than Dendoncker though, which is seen as he created the 3rd most chances in the league from a central midfielder with 2.2 per game. Wolves like to use long direct balls over the back line to transition the attack quickly and use Jota's pace. Pulgar's long range passing will be vital, and this can be seen as 0.7 of his key passes per game were long key passes, which would suit Wolves who often used the long passing abilities of Neves last season to create chances. Pulgar has a reported £13 million release clause, so would be an absolute bargain. Whilst Johnny at left wing back is very good defensively, he lacks offensive ability, which is seen as he only made 0.3 crosses per game and created just 0.9 key passes per game last season. Mainz's 22-year-old Spanish left back Aaron Martin would be the perfect defensive upgrade. Martin completed the 3rd most dribbles from a left back in the Bundesliga with 1.5 per game, which was a lot more than Johnny managed in the Premier League with 0.9 per game. Jimenez particularly would benefit greatly from a player on the left who could deliver quality crosses, as he is very good in offensive aerial situations. Martin would provide this, as seen as he completed the 6th most chances from crosses in the Bundesliga with 1.2 per game. Whilst he's a very good offensive left back, Martin is also a competent defensive left back as well, as he's good at reading the game, enabling him to make interceptions, and he can hold his own in one-on-one duels, something that is crucial when playing in the left wing back position directly up against skillful wingers. Mainz signed him last season for 7.5 million, so Wolves could probably get him for around 15 million. The final player that Wolves should sign this summer is Argentine Rodrigo De Paul. De Paul currently plays for Udinese and is statistically one of the most creative players in Serie A. De Paul created the 4th most key passes of any player in Serie A with 2.7 per game, with 0.9 per game of those being a long key pass, which shows that he'd be well suited to Wolves' direct style of play, as he can play these long passes over the back line like the likes of Neves and Moutinho do. De Paul could play centrally in the front two or on either of the flanks. He has the dribbling ability to advance the attack into the final third, as seen with his 2.3 dribbles per game that he completed last season, which was the 4th most in Serie A. He also has a similar style to Alexis Sanchez in terms of his short, stocky build. Wolves don't currently have a link man between the forward line and midfield, which is why they struggle to break down deep defensive blocks. De Paul would offer a unique ability in the Wolves squad, as he likes to drop deep and play between the lines, receiving the ball and then creating with a long pass or through ball. He costs around £25 million, but at 25 he could be one of the bargains of this summer's transfer window. With these signings, Wolves could play a 5-3-2 system in big games where they look to sit deep and transition the attack, as they did so well last season. And in games where they can dominate possession, they could use a more expansive 5 at the back system, or even a 4-4-2 system which wasn't used last season. So overall, I think that if Wolves can bring in these sorts of players, they can make a push for the top 6, though I think someone like Leicester are in a better position to actually break into the top 6, as I don't see Wolves bringing in the quality that I've suggested here. So if I had to go for a prediction, I'd probably say that Wolves will finish 8th next season. This is because there hasn't been much transfer activity at Molineux so far this summer, and if they don't add some squad depth, they could be in real trouble, as they have the Europa League to contend with as well next season. I also think Nuno's style of play does inhibit them a bit, as it stops them from being able to beat these smaller sides, as they seem to only be able to play with a quick transition on the counter. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and share the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and click the bell so you don't miss out on any of the content coming over the summer. Also check out the quiz question in the comment section below.